Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know I haven't posted in a while, but so much has been going on and I haven't really been able to just set up the camera and do. That's why day in the life type of videos are really difficult for me. But because I'm going to pretty much be right here for quite some time, I decided that I'm going to go ahead and record. There isn't quite a plan just yet for what all I'm going to be doing. I have my planner here. One of the things that I need to do is finish planning out today, but I really also need to start planning out November, kind of wrap up October and start planning out November. So that's going to be a lot of what I'm doing, but there's also some things that I want to share because if you did not know, ELEFAN, which is my planner business, actually launched on October 14th. Okay, and we launched with our pre-sale event where the planner was 10% off plus free shipping, and it actually ends this Saturday, October 31st at 11:59 p.m. EST. If you don't know what I'm talking about our all-in-one planner. It's a 12-month undated planner, and it has the monthly, the weekly, and the daily spread, plus yearly and monthly goal planning. Okay, so this is it, and like I said, it's on sale for 10% off plus free shipping until October 31st at 11:59 EST. Now, if you see this video after October 31st and you're interested in the ELEFAN Planner, I highly recommend you go to elefanplanner.com and you sign up for our newsletter, because then you'll be one of the first to know when ELEFAN is available again, because after October 31st, it will be marked as sold out. And then once we get our shipment in and we send out pre-orders, then ELEFAN will be available for purchase again, but it will be at full price. And we'll talk about when some sales are coming up as I do some planning. As you notice, there is going to be a lighting change as I kind of turn from you guys to what I'm doing, because my hair, when it focuses on my hair, it makes things darker. But anyways, this is what I'm going to start with. I need to fold this up. This is actually the fabric that I use to take my planner pictures on, because the planner is blue, green, and white, and I want it to have some kind of complementary but contrasting color, and pink ended up being that color that I picked and that I had readily available. So this is what I use to take my photos for Instagram. Now, I have an Instagram, I have a Pinterest, I have a Twitter, I have, what else? I have Facebook, I have all that. But the one that I use the most often, if I'm being honest, is my Instagram, because anything on Facebook is just posted from Instagram. Twitter, I don't like Twitter, y'all. I don't know. I can't figure out how to get Twitter followers, even using hashtags and things like that. I just can't figure out how to get Twitter followers, and because I can't just post what I'm doing on Instagram directly to Twitter, because it'll just post a link and have you go to Instagram, I have to do it manually, and it just didn't seem like my efforts were paying off when it came to doing that. So I decided that, you know what, I'm not going to do that anymore. I don't want to. So that's what happened with Twitter. Pinterest has a very specific style of information, and I don't know. I just can't get with it. But I do post on Pinterest every now and again, but it's definitely not consistent at all. So, anyways, so right now I need to finish planning out my day. I do have quite a few things that I need to do. I kind of already wrote out most of it. Now, this video, I'm not going to be talking all the way through a lot of it. I'm just going to be kind of working, but for the things that I want to tell you guys, which I kind of want to catch you guys up on, the results of the launch, how much I made, how many sales I made, what I did, what worked, what didn't. I want to share that in this video. And for that reason, this may end up being a couple different parts. We'll just have to see kind of what this comes together to be like. But right now, I'm just checking off the things that I've already done and then trying to figure out what else needs to be done. Let's see what time it is, because I have no idea. So it's 1:07. So I'll probably be able to start doing what I need to do as far as anything that requires me to get up out of this position in about an hour. So let's see. So I guess what I'll do is, since I do need to leave the house, I'll go ahead and leave the house after I kind of finish everything that I'm doing here so that I can come back and just focus versus trying to work knowing that I have to go and come back. So about 2:30, I need to run to H-E-B, which if you don't know what that is, it's a grocery store and a pharmacy. And I just need to pick up a few things. So I'm going to go to H-E-B, and when I go to H-E-B, I'm going to take the trash out. One of the things that I need to do also is I need to script my podcast really bad. So I need to probably prioritize that pretty quick here. So when I get back from the store, I'll go ahead and start scripting my podcast episode. The scripting actually does take me quite some time. Usually when I script, it takes me about an hour or so. And sometimes I'm finished scripting the episode and sometimes I'm not. It just kind of depends. And the podcast episodes are for What the Dementia, which is associated with my dementia care business. So like I said, it takes about an hour, and sometimes it takes like 2-hour sessions to finally get it done how I want it. I don't always script, but most of the time I do, just so that there is some kind of flow and I'm not backtracking or anything like that. I also need to create more planner spreads, which, guys, anytime that I especially use stickers, it takes me so long to create these planner spreads because I'm more of a functional planner. I just write it down. I don't need it to look cute. But I know a lot of people like that type of content, so I try to post a mixture between kind of like my functional planning and a blend of kind of minimalistic creative planning. I don't do too much because it's going to be really hard for me to keep up with purchasing stickers because that's not something that I particularly like to spend my money on. So, I don't know. We'll have to see how that goes, but that's something that I need to do. What else? I still need to write this newsletter that is supposed to go out tomorrow. And the newsletter is just kind of letting people know tomorrow that there's 3 days left for the pre-sale event. So if they're wanting a planner, they have 3 days to make their purchase before it's sold out. And then once we come back, it'll be regular price, or it might come back actually Cyber Monday because I'm thinking about doing a Cyber Monday sale. So we'll see. So that, and then I need to clean the kitchen. So I have to clean the kitchen before I can cook or do anything. So after I finish writing the newsletter, I'll go ahead and clean the kitchen. And then once I finish cleaning the kitchen, I can go ahead and cook and stuff. Now today doesn't really feel like a Wednesday to me. It feels kind of like a Thursday, but my whole week has been kind of feeling like that. So that's pretty much today. Right now, what I'm going to do is start talking to you guys about the pre-sale event, the launch, how that went, Oh my goodness. So this is going to be all over the place because there's so many things that happened. So one of the first things that I did is I set up my Instagram so I could go ahead and start posting. And then I also created a landing page for people to sign up for the newsletter if they were interested in the ELEFAN planner. So I was posting about 2 to 3 times a day because even though consistency is what matters, it's really hard, at least in my opinion, to get like reach and visibility on Instagram now. And so the more often that you post, the more likely you're going to be able to get that visibility. And because I was starting from scratch, like I don't really have a big following anywhere. And when I started this account, I had 2 followers, okay? And that was previous followers from when I tried to launch this the first time, but then some things happened and I couldn't. So I had 2 followers from then, and everything else was built from there. Okay. Now, by the time I launched, I had about 12 or so people, I believe, that were a part of my newsletter. And I had about 60 to 70 followers on Instagram. Okay. So I try to make sure that these were organic followers. So there are a lot of people who do that like follow for follow thing, but the reality is that following does not equate to sales. So even if you have this big number, people might think that you're doing something, but all those people that are a part of your following can actually hurt you more than help you, because if they're not engaging with your content, it's going to really screw you up as far as the algorithm goes. You want to have followers who genuinely like your content. So I would try to refrain from doing the follow for follow thing for your main platform. So for me, Instagram is my main platform, but I will occasionally do some follow for follow through like Facebook or something like that because it's not my main platform and I don't really get a lot of reach on Facebook. So that's what I did. Now, on the day of launch, I posted a couple of things. So leading up to launch, I did like a 3, 2, 1 countdown. So on launch day, I did a couple of posts. I did a post like this, but then I also did a post like this, letting people know that it's live, that it's 10% off, to grab theirs today. And then I also sent out the ELEFAN is live to my newsletter people. So on my first day of launching, I made 3 sales, okay? And then I made about 1 sale every day for 5 days. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's about right. And so here's where we are now. So hopefully you can see this okay. This is Stripe. Okay, so I use Stripe for my payment system and I use Webflow for my website. So this is my sales from October 14th to now, which is October 28th. So exactly 2 weeks, okay? So I made gross $727.04, and I've had 10 successful payments, meaning I've had 10 customers, but one of these customers actually purchased 2 planners. So in total, I've sold 11 planners, and then what you're not going to see here is that I did get one influencer to agree to doing a YouTube video kind of showcasing ELEFAN, doing an unboxing, and a first impressions and flip through type of video. And so her planner is free, so you're not going to see that here. Okay, so that's what this looks like. Then the net volume is $688.43. So of course, with any kind of credit card processing platform, they're going to take out a processing fee. And so for Stripe, I believe it's 2.9% plus 30 cents or something like that. So this is what you're left with. And then of course you have to take taxes out of that, because now that you're a legit business, you're going to have to pay taxes. So you want to make sure that you're taking taxes out of that, and you want to make sure you're taking at least 25 to 30% of that, okay? So that number does drop pretty quickly. But for starting from like literally nothing, and then within 2 weeks getting technically 11 planners sold. Like, I'm very grateful for anyone who has supported my business and will support my business. This is a very nerve-wracking process because you put, of course, so much into your business that you're just hoping to get something back out of it. So I'm very happy with how ELEFAN is performing so far. And I'm hoping that I will at least get a few more sales before this week is out. So we'll see. Okay. So I just wanted to share kind of where we're at. So I did a couple of different things to kind of try out to see if they would get me a sale or not. So of course, my main platform for getting sales is through Instagram. So I wanted to see if running Facebook and Instagram ads would help with getting sales. Well, for the amount of time that I ran them, which was about maybe 5 or 6 days, I don't believe that I got any sales directly from running those ads, just being honest, okay? And then I ran Google ads, and they're still running, and they're going to end on Saturday. And the thing with Google ads is it definitely adds up very quickly, because with Facebook, they kind of do it based off of like impressions. Facebook and Instagram, they do it off of like impressions and things like that. And somehow with whatever kind of algorithm they use, they end up getting this number. Now with Google, you only get charged if somebody clicks. But depending on how much time passes between each click, the amount per click kind of varies. So unfortunately, Google ads do add up very, very quickly. Now, one thing I will say is that if you are a small business and you have very low priced items, you will probably end up losing a lot of money, a lot of money through running Facebook ads, Instagram ads, or Google ads. And it's going to be really hard to probably get that money back. And so I probably don't recommend you do it off the back. Just because, like, for me, there was very little return and investment. Like, I think from my Google ads, I got one person. So for what I'm spending on the Google ads, essentially that one person will end up kind of covering that. But it's helped my website get a lot of exposure, and there's been a lot of people who keep coming back to my website, which is good, because there is this kind of figure that says like 98% of the people who go to your website for the first time are not going to purchase from you. So you want to give people a reason to come back. That's kind of like the key, because you want them to keep coming back to see if they're going to make that decision. For businesses and companies that people don't know, they don't know the business, they don't know who you are, they don't know if it's legit. It's really hard, especially for something like my product, which is an expensive product. It's well worth it. It's definitely, you definitely get your money's worth for what you're paying, but it is a lot of money to put into a business that you know nothing about, right? So you have to do your research. You have to want to come back, because if it's intriguing enough, you're going to come back. Like, let me take a look at this again. Let me see what I can figure out. Let me do some research, and then I'll decide if I want to purchase. So anyways, my point is, if you have like low cost items and it's going to take you a lot to get your money back, running ads off the back is probably not going to be your best technique for marketing. And also, like I said, you want to be very careful about these like promote your business types of like Facebook groups, because a lot of those, their benefit is gaining followers, but it's not necessarily going to help you gain sales, and it's not necessarily going to help you gain people who actually care anything about your business. And so that's kind of that. Another thing that I did is, so what I did for the people who signed up for my newsletter before the pre-sale event, so before October 14th, got an additional $5 off coupon code sent to their email, okay? Once ELEFAN launched, no more codes were sent out, except I did a 48-hour only code that I ended up sending to anybody who subscribed after the pre-sale date. So it was like maybe a week after I sent out, and I did 2 rounds because there were a couple more people who joined the newsletter after that initial run. So I sent it out, and I actually got one person who ended up using the code to purchase their planner. So that, I would say, worked, and that would be something that I would definitely do again, as far as like that kind of time limited thing, because people like sales. Okay, so I would say personally, when you price your product, you want to price your product based on the time that you're putting into it, the money that you're putting into it. You got to make sure you're including the packaging. You got to make sure that you're including the shipping, or making sure that you're charging something reasonable to cover the shipping. Okay, all those things. But then you also want to add a couple to it, because people are more likely to buy from you when you have some kind of perceived deal. Okay, people want to feel like they're getting a deal. So anytime that you can do like a flash sale or some kind of short-term quick deal, like don't wait, get it now, this is a great deal, people are going to be more likely to buy than when your product is just sitting at full price, okay, unless you just have like a bomb following. But unfortunately for a lot of us, we're starting from very little followings. We're not starting from people who have been like watching us over the years, and as soon as we drop a product, they're like ready to jump on it, right? We're building from like nothing and up. So to get people interested, sales are usually the best way to do that. Now, one thing that I would probably do differently my next launch, so next year when I launch the second round of planners, if ELEFAN does well, is that I'll make launch day the biggest sell day, okay? And then the rest is still a discount, but a smaller discount for the rest of the period, because people need that incentive, like that time limited incentive of do not wait, okay? And unfortunately, that's a model that a lot of people use now, where they do these big restocks, and it's like they sell out so quickly, but people jump on it because they know that this company is going to sell out. So if I don't act quick, I'm going to miss it. So hype builds up around that. And something else that I've been doing that has intrigued some interest but hasn't resulted in a planner sale yet is joining different Facebook groups that allow self-promotion and posting in there. And posting in groups that are related to what I'm doing, which for this is planning, right? That allow for either self-promotion or for post of your spreads. So what I'll do is I'll post my spread. I won't say anything about it. I just post the spread so that I'm abiding by the rules, right? And then if people are interested because they notice, oh, wait, this is a little bit different than what I've seen before, then they'll ask me, what kind of planner is this? Or da-da-da. So I have gotten some interest like that. I have tried Reddit. I hate Reddit, guys. Oh my gosh, I cannot stand Reddit. And so I have posted like maybe 3 times in Reddit, and again, got some interest, but not a sale yet. But like I said, I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that it is what I call like a high ticket item. It's hard to put that much money into a business you know nothing about, right? And so I feel like most of my planner sales, besides promoting through Instagram, are going to come from influencers and people who have purchased the planner and tell other people or share it on their platforms. I honestly feel like that's going to be how my product does the best, because right now the issue is the reduced visibility, because right now I have 103 followers on Instagram as of today, right? but my posts still don't reach super far, a lot further than when I first started posting. When I first started posting, my posts were only reaching like 20. Like, it was pitiful. It was only reaching like 20 people. Then it started reaching like between 30 and 40. And then it started reaching about 50. And now it fluctuates between 50 and like 100 something, depending on the hashtags I use. So slowly, my reach is starting to get out there, but it's still not good enough. And then obviously, people have to trust in the company and in the brand. So that's why I was looking for 2 to 3 influencers. I emailed 4, okay? 1 said no because she wanted to focus more on paid brand sponsorships, which I completely understand. The second one said yes, and then the other 2 I haven't heard back from. So essentially what I'm offering the influencers is the free planner, a discount code for their followers, and then I'm also offering them a certain percentage if anyone uses their code. So that's what I'm doing for the influencers. Oh, another thing that I did to try to help build up my newsletter. I'm sorry this is all over the place, guys, but this is why it's hard for me to record these type of videos. But is I posted a freebie. I made a freebie available, and I do plan on doing another freebie that I probably honestly need to get going on before, I don't know, like probably next week. I need to go ahead and get it done. But anyways, I did a weekly meal plan freebie, which is still available. So I'll leave the link in the description box below if you're interested on picking up the freebie or whatever. But one thing that I did is I allowed people to opt into the newsletter. So I did actually get a few opt-ins to the newsletter from this freebie. So that's something else that I did. And then I'm going to do a budget freebie that I want to put out because I want to try to see if that will help me build up my newsletter a little bit more before I announce this Cyber Monday thing, if I decide to go through with it. I think I am, and I'm pretty sure it's probably going to end up being the same as what the pre-sale event was, just because I feel pretty good about that, and the people who actually signed up for the newsletter still got the biggest discount. So it's not like for those who signed up and supported me like right off the bat that it's like, well, why did I do it then? I could have waited. So they still have the largest discount. And so that's why I still feel good with the 10% off and free shipping for Cyber Monday. My shipping in general is free. At least that's what I'm thinking now. If I ever did charge for shipping, at least for the contiguous US, it would only be like $5 because I've already kind of accounted for it and my profit margin and things like that. So, yeah. But anyways, so right now what I do need to do is my Excel sheet. So I use Google Sheets for this. I used to just use regular Google Excel, but I don't have that anymore. So I just use Google Sheets, and it's pretty dope because I can pretty much access it from anywhere. So, yes. So what I keep in this Excel sheet is my estimated expenses. So when I know that I need to purchase something, I'll go ahead and put it in my estimated expenses so I can kind of account for it. And then I have my actual expenses, which is what I actually end up spending money on. Okay, so that's here. And what I need to do, which is what I'm going to do right now, is actually my sales and taxes, because I want to make sure that I am keeping up with that. Okay, so I just finished creating the Excel document. I'm gonna have to tweak it though because I need to figure out how they're getting the number, because Stripe itself takes out 2.9% plus 30 cents, and then Webflow itself takes out 2%. So technically I'm paying more because I'm using both Webflow and Stripe, but I'm not quite sure how they're getting their math. I don't know. So I gotta figure that out, but I made it work for now, so that's what we're going to stick with. So after Stripe and Webflow takes out their fees, and then obviously I have to put aside the money for taxes, then there is $516.32 left over from this run so far. But essentially everything I make is going back into the business for right now, because obviously there's still things that I have to get. One thing is I went ahead and placed my planner order with the manufacturer yesterday, just because I wanted to get that process going. And I know it takes about 10 days, but because the volume of planners that I'm ordering is more than I have previously. Usually I was just ordering 1 or 2 because I was trying to make sure it was like I wanted it to be. So this is my biggest bulk. I kind of wanted to purchase them a little bit ahead of schedule, so that if there is any issues, I have some time to rectify it. So for right now, that's kind of what it is. So I'm going to actually go ahead and add that to my expenses, because I didn't do it yesterday because I did it pretty late. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Go ahead and add that information in. And let me see how much I spent. The only other thing that I'm still waiting on that is taking a little bit longer than expected is the bookmarks, which I'm hoping to be able to put in an order before the end of this week is out, because I'm not creating them myself. I'm depending on someone else, and they've been doing a lot of other things for me as well. So yeah, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to place that order this week so that it will for sure get here by the time the planners get here, so that there's no delay in that area. So that is that. So I went ahead and I made the Excel sheet, which is good. Now, what I need to do now is, what time is it? I have a few minutes before I have to go. So this is actually going to probably be a 2-part video, because I still need to plan out my November, but I'm probably not going to do that until later tonight. I would have done it, if there was time to, but I've been recording for quite some time now. So after I cook and eat and do all that stuff and get settled, I'll spend tonight to plan out my November. And I do kind of want to walk you guys a little bit through that process. But when I planned, I don't know, like I'm all over the place because I'm catching everything so that I can consolidate, So it's hard for me to do these like structured videos. But I hope that this video was informative, enjoyable, interesting. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. If you're interested in ordering the ELEFAN planner, remember that our pre-sale event ends October 31st, 11:59 p.m. EST. It's currently 10% off plus free shipping. After the 31st, it will temporarily be sold out, and then it will come back available after a few weeks after we ship out the pre-orders. If you see this video after October 31st, just sign up for our newsletter at elefanplanner.com, and then you will be notified when the ELEFAN planner is available again, okay? So that wraps up this video, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.